The Force will be with you, always.
Hey everyone, Rick here, back again with another Honest Thoughts, and today's Honest Thoughts is going to be somewhat different. As you all know, yesterday was not a good day for Cartoon Network fans, and rightfully so. So we're going to be talking about, myself and my best friend, Duo Dreamer, we are going to be talking about the new Thundercats Roar show that was just announced by Cartoon Network and Entertainment Weekly yesterday. And oh my goodness, like the whole internet just blew up. Like everyone.
That's an understatement.
Yes.
That is an understatement.
Yes, it's like you see so many people talking about it on Twitter, on YouTube, like even the announcement, like we were talking about this before we started, the announcement video. If you go and you watch the announcement video, it has over almost 10,000 dislikes. So
oh my god.
Yes, so it's like Ghostbusters 2016 all over again, except this time.
You know what? I'll say this. I'd rather watch the 2016 version of Ghostbusters than to watch this show.
Yes. Like, so if you're a fan of the 80s show like Duo and myself, or if you're just a fan of the 2011 show like myself and Duo, like if you're just a fan of Thundercats, chances are, like everyone, most people, you're not excited for this show. And I don't blame the internet. All I can say, I don't blame the internet. But yeah,
no, the blame goes to Cartoon Network. It goes to them. I mean,
yeah.
Here's the thing: like, what is their obsession for self-destruction? Like, seriously, like, are they trying to kill themselves or something like that? Like, destroy
I would
Cartoon
say,
Network?
well, they've killed themselves. They've been killing themselves for a very long time. And to me, when I saw this yesterday, all I saw was just another bullet, because Cartoon Network, I've talked about this for 5 straight years. They are dummies. They are idiots beyond all of the business standards you can imagine. They are nothing more than a bunch of knuckleheads who don't understand how to adapt to the times they're in. And this fully proves it. But we're going to talk about this later. But yes, so we're going to mostly talk about this. Like I'm going to try and be a little bit optimistic about this, and Duo's
I'm not being optimistic at all.
No.
Most of you may know me that I like to look on the bright side of things, where, you know, like with the new Ninja Turtles coming out pretty soon, I was optimistic because I feel that there is a multi-universe when it comes to Ninja Turtles, which there is.
Yes,
there is. But this, that's a slap in the face, in my opinion.
Yes,
it's a slap in the face.
Yeah, well, let's talk about that. So here's the thing. Again, this is full to be expected from Cartoon Network, but if you guys remember, 7 years ago, we already had a Thundercats reboot, the 2011 show, as it's called. And basically what that was to try and mix the 80s show, what happened in the 80s show, but instead of having it have been Lino, it's now Claudius, whereas with now, it's a younger Lino trying to become the king and accept all of these responsibilities. Now, whether you love the 2011 show or not, I've seen a lot of people who have mixed opinions on it. You know, some people said the writing wasn't that good. Like, it doesn't matter. Even if you did or didn't like it, what we can all agree on is what makes Thundercats is the art style. And that's a perfect segue, because we'll probably show it right here. But this is what the official art style is going to look like. And guys, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised by Cartoon Network's tomfoolery.
My first impression when you text me about this announcement, and it was a link to Twitter, and I was like, "What is this?" So I clicked on it, and I didn't have data on my phone because I ran out of my data for the month, so it was taking a while to load the picture. It said Thundercats. I was so hyped. I was so, oh my God, Thundercats. And then when it finally loaded the picture of the art style for this new show, my first thought was, why are there Teen Titan Go-ized this show? Yes, I created a brand new term. Teen Titan Go-ized this show. Why?
Yes, why? My first thoughts on this, like, as soon, because I didn't like this didn't start going until later in the day. But I saw one of my Twitter followers talk about it and saying, "Oh, it looks kind of cool," and I'm like, "What? Thundercats Roar? What is this?" So I go to the hashtag, and I look at the Entertainment Weekly post, and the first thing I see is the art style, and immediately, I thought, is this OKKO doing Thundercats? Because for those of you who do not know, one of the newer shows that I'm a huge fan of, OKKO, it somewhat has this art style, but it's completely different. But on first glance, it looks like it. But no, see, here's the thing. When I saw this art style, I'm like, I don't even know. I was not surprised. I didn't know what to say because Cartoon Network for the past few years has been relying on the cheapest animation possible. And this is even cheaper than I thought it ever could be. Like, I never thought it was possible. I never thought it was possible. But Cartoon Network, this show is even cheaper than Teen Titans Go. Like, the art style makes Teen Titans Go, Powerpuff Girls, Ben 10, like all of the other art styles on Cartoon Network's modern day shows look amazing by comparison. And that's just the joke.
Like, thing, to me, I feel it's a step back to animation, because if you compare that to back in the 80s,
yes,
so much detail. It was so beautiful.
Yes, like
then you compare it to 2011. Brighter colors, but still the details.
Yeah, awesome. Because if we're gonna show a side-by-side comparison here, but if you look at the detail, like the differences between each show, like the 80s show, my friend Cap said it best, it looks like an 80s David Bowie concert animation style. With the 2011 show, it's more polished. It looks more anime stylized to make it more fluid. With this show, it's trying to be chibi sized, but see, that's the thing. It's like the one thing that keeps people going and coming back to Thundercats is its animation. That's one of the main things you don't fuck with, is the animation of Thundercats, and they completely just did that, and I am so shocked.
And not just that, the characters too. Like,
yes, let's talk about them. So Lino looks like Steven from Steven Universe meets a dumb heroic barbarian who is somewhat optimistic. Like the sword, like the sword of omens, it looks like a joke. It looks like a dagger.
What did he call it? What did he call it?
My slicing stick. I think
my slicing stick. It's a sword of freaking omens with the eye on Thundera. It is not a slicing stick. Give it the respect that it deserves.
Yes,
guys.
like the design of the sword. Oh my God, like it does. It looks like something out of Minecraft. And again, it's just,
Jesus.
It's ridiculous. So, and another thing I don't like, Jitara looks horrible. She looks like that hairstyle.
Look horrible. Like, not just one, but all of them. Even Wily Cat. My God.
Like, I can't even tell what the difference between Wily Cat and Wily Kid. Like, it's ridiculous.
I couldn't even. Oh God! Don't.
Yes, no. Snarf looks. Why? Snarf looks like something out of Rick and Morty. Like that's what.
Snarf was the real G. He was the real G. And the thing is, I loved when he talked in the 80s. I didn't mind him not talking in 2011.
I actually preferred when he didn't talk in the 2011.
I like when he says Snarf.
Oh God!
Oh, come on, man. But this one, knowing that, I think I think Snarf's gonna talk in this one. But
he's got to.
No. I mean,
yes.
I don't like it. I just and what was that whole intro with Lino? Pretty much having a rock on top of Tigra.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't understand that. So yeah, speaking of the intro, because again, the guy, Victor Cartwright, I believe his name is, he's a producer. He's done some work for some things. Like he's mainly done some writing for OKKO, Peanut and Pickle. So he does have some credit to his name, but not really. But he kept on going on and on in the videos saying like, oh, well, the art style means a lot to me. He talked about how awesome the intro was, and when he first learned to animate, he would use that as a reference. So they're hyping up this new intro, which that is one thing I'll give them credit for. The 2011 show didn't have an intro. Like this was Cartoon Network's whole no intro phase thing, but the intro for this, okay, it's trying to be a 90s style cartoon. Like you see how it's stretched and how it's moving fast. So it does look like the 80s cartoons. Like if that's what they were going for, the intro itself is fine, but I don't like the music, and especially the end where they yell "Thundercats!" Like it's ridiculous. The intro itself, it's fine, but it's trying too hard to be the OG intro. That's its problem.
I don't see it being original at all. I just see it as just its own thing. Just wanted to be silly for the sake of silliness, which is pretty much what Cartoon Network's all about now. They don't like to tell real good stories. They just want to be well. I except for Steven Universe, that does have a good story.
Steven Universe, OKKO, like some of those, like they have great stories. But see, here's the other thing I don't like about this new show. It's mumm-ra.
Don't even get me started. I swear to God, when I saw mumm-ra with a freaking newspaper, I'm like, what the hell are you doing to mumm-ra? He's the evil living. Evil freaking living.
Yes, exactly.
Come on.
Yes, exactly. Okay, his transformation mode when he's mumm-ra, the ever living, he looks fine, but he doesn't look terrifying. But his regular form, it's a complete joke. Like it's trying to make him over comedy saturated, and it just doesn't work. Like that just brings my point up. It's like Cartoon Network for the past years have been relying on the same animation style, and it can work. Like for shows like Steven Universe, Gumball, OKKO, they can work there, but with this, it doesn't work. Like it just doesn't. Like it wasn't the animation was not meant for this type of style.
No, and seeing mumm-ra, it's almost as bad as seeing Trigon in a bad sweater in Teen Titans Go. Even worse than having Darkseid being voiced by Weird Al Yankovic. I can tolerate Weird Al Yankovic voicing Darkseid, but I cannot tolerate how mumm-ra looks.
Yeah, no, again, all of them, just all of them. The only one that looks good and virtually untouched is Panthro. Like Panthro looks fine.
Panthro?
Yeah, Panthro. Sorry, I don't want to say Panthro. Panthro looks fine. I mean, he looks like himself. Like that. It's just everyone else. Everyone else is over exaggerated with this kind of stretchy comedy style animation, and it just doesn't work. Like
all I can say is they better not touch Jaga. Do not touch Jaga. He's like God to Thundercats. Don't touch Jaga.
Yeah, exactly.
Jaga, okay?
Like the animation itself is the one thing I will give, is where I will agree with everyone. It's bad. And as someone who's grown up to understand animation, like I know Cartoon Network is in a cheap era these days, but this is too cheap. Like even the hair for all of them, it looks like clouds and it's too puffy. It just doesn't look right. And I just don't.
Thundercats.
Exactly. Yeah. Like there's like it's just not working. Like the animation, again, side-by-side comparison, this is obviously the weakest. And again, it's making all of the other animation from all of these modern day shows, whether they be from Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, or Disney, it's making them look superior by comparison. Yeah. And again, what's ironic, since we've been talking about Teen Titans Go, the same animation team that does Teen Titans Go is handling this animation. So that's why it
don't
looks
remind
like
me.
Exactly.
Don't remind me.
I know. So yeah, no, the animation itself in every detail, it's just wrong. Like it is. Like if you ask anybody how this looks, 9 times out of 10, they're gonna say it looks mediocre and it looks too cheap for its own good. But that does lead into one other thing. The producer himself did say, because now I know some people may not know this, but this is going to be a comedy now. Like, because the producer himself, who's a huge fan of
We
Thundercats.
do not associate with him.
Yes, exactly.
We don't associate with him.
Yes, like
he
said,
much sold out. He sold out to Cartoon Network. He wanted the money, so he did that to all of us.
Yes,
sold out.
Exactly. He said that the world itself lends to comedy because of how ridiculous it is. And yes, okay, maybe I could believe that because you're right. But see, because the shows take this so seriously, I don't see how it could be done into comedy. But if it was, I would expect you to try even harder, because again, the whole world, it just looks like it's a knockoff of the original 80s show, and it's trying to be its own thing. And bear in mind, like he said it himself, just because there's more comedy doesn't mean we're going to skimp out on the action. But Cartoon Network these days, they're all about comedy. Some shows can have action, but they can't be as action heavy as they were in the past. So, and that's what Thundercats is famous for. It's famous for animation, its intros, and its action. So
even with the old ones, it did have some comedy elements to it.
Yes, it did. And
they space it. They space it out. They had some timing to it.
Yes.
It's just that I just think with this one, it's going to be too much comedy and less telling a story and less action, to the point where it's like, well, to be fair, it's for the kids. We get that, but it's just...
but we'll get into that particular argument later. But yeah, no, the fact that they're still wanting to stay true to the action is just like, okay, but given on how this show looks, that means that it's going to cost them more to have action, because of how this animation is so cheap. They have to stretch it in order to be action packed. So I don't know how it's going to look. I mean, if the intro is anything to go off of, maybe that's what we can expect. But it's just like, guys, if you wanted it to just be about comedy and action, then the animation needs to represent that. Like, I'm always of the popular opinion. Animation can either make or break a show, but it all comes from the writing. If the writing can't keep up with this animation, then you've already doomed yourself.
I agree.
Yes.
I agree. Now the question is it going to be like maybe 10-minute shorts or...
Well, see, yeah, that's the thing. I mean,
that's what I'm noticing with most Cartoon Network shows now.
Yes, most of them have gone for being 10 minutes now instead of the traditional 20 minutes, which some shows like Steven Universe, OKKO, they can make it feel like 20 minutes within the span of 10 minutes. So it depends on how the script is written. But if this is like Teen Titans Go or Powerpuff Girls, it's just going to drag on. And see, that's the thing. It's like they're going to have to try and find a way to not only keep kids entertained, but adults entertained.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So
but I know adults are going to be watching it. So there's going to be... And knowing them, they're probably going to make fun of the adults who are complaining about, kind of like how Teen Titans Go is making fun of us old fans complaining about how Teen Titans Go is. I wouldn't be surprised if they make fun of us as well.
Well, see, here's the thing about that, because I do want to talk about that, because I know a lot of people are saying, oh, this show is going to fail. Like, some fans have already started a petition to get this show off. And to that, I say,
Where
guys,
can I sign?
it's not going to do well. A petition is just a piece of paper, like, and it's not even aired yet. You can't just make a petition just because, oh, we only got a sneak peek of it. Like, no, you need to wait. But petitions don't do jack these days, let's be honest. But but okay, so with Teen Titans Go, like, Teen Titans Go is Teen Titans Go, but the one thing about Teen Titans Go that even I will admit is that the show itself can go both ways. It can either be so bad it's good, it's entertaining, or it can be so bad it's just cringeworthy. It can go both ways, and Teen Titans Go has had decent, funny episodes. They at least try. With Powerpuff Girl 2016, it's boring, but sometimes it can be above average.
Is that still on the air, though? Because I hardly hear anything about the new Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah, it's still going, unfortunately. Yeah, it's still going, but now it's just like, it's going downhill. But Ben 10, it's doing its thing. So, see, the point is that where Teen Titans Go wins is that, yes, it makes fun of not only the fans, it takes everything you say about it and it turns that into a joke because it knows what it is and it's having fun with that. With this, it's the opposite. If this is going to be more focused on comedy, then that means it's not going to be able to have that kind of guarantee of Teen Titans Go, because that's just it. With Teen Titans Go, it knows what it is, it has fun with what it is, and sometimes it can either be good or bad. It just doesn't matter. But
somehow they're able to get a theatrical release.
Yes, exactly. But with Thundercats Roar, it's quite unknown, because I mean, if they are going to break the fourth wall, then they're just going to do it poorly. They're just going to do it poorly, and they won't be able to perfectly replicate how Teen Titans Go does it, because Teen Titans Go is able to do it so well. But this show, I don't think so.
I think with Teen Titans Go, why it's so popular, it's not just popular to kids that loves it.
Yes.
Sadly, and I hate to say this, but it's also popular to the people who don't like it, because sometimes they watch it just to complain about it.
Yes, exactly.
What else they're gonna ruin? What else they're gonna do?
Exactly. I've always said this. If you want Teen Titans Go to ever end, then don't talk about it. You're giving it the attention you give to it by tweeting about it, by posting on Facebook, Tumblr, all of that, or just making reviews on it. The more you talk about it, the more that's good, because no good press is bad press in Warner Brothers and Cartoon Network's eyes. And
actually, in any entertainment.
Well, no, yeah, that's true. But with this, on the other hand, it's the same thing, because again, this is coming out in the Teen Titans Go era we're now in, where, okay, you take something old from Cartoon Network's catalog and you reboot it and you expect it to get bad attention. And the more bad attention it gets, the more it's already on its way to becoming a success. So in the past 24 hours, the more people have been talking about this, you're already giving it the potential it needs to become a success.
In other words, good or bad publicity is still publicity.
Exactly, yes. And it doesn't matter.
And here we are giving it publicity.
Exactly, yes, because we have to. See, that's the thing.
Damn it.
It's all part of Cartoon Network's plan. And see, but here's
we're falling for it.
Exactly, yes. Yes, exactly. But see, here's the thing. This show is not trying. It's not even trying to hide that it's copying Teen Titans Go. It's riding its coattails. It's not even trying. And the animation, it sings Teen Titans Go ripoff. The way it's focused on comedy, same thing with Teen Titans Go. In other words, it is trying to be like Teen Titans Go, and that's just the sad fact. Like, anything that follows Teen Titans Go's standards or follows what they do, they're automatically guaranteed success. It's just inevitable at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But no, let's talk about this for a minute because this is something I want to bring up and I want to touch upon. Now, the old show lasted for what, 3-4 seasons? Like the first 80 show, I believe
4 seasons.
Yeah, and it had a movie too. But it was only made for TV.
Yes.
Then 2011 it gets rebooted. It lasts 1 season, 26 episodes. And the reason that show was canceled is the same reason Young Justice was canceled, because of the toy sales. When Cartoon Network should have known better than that. I had a conversation with my friend 8-Bit Misfit, and he brought up a good point. Cartoons these days are not, you and me even brought this up back in Nerd Nostalgia, the first episode, where like the common thing is that cartoons nowadays are not made because they're there to sell toys. It's the opposite of that. So the fact that Cartoon Network says, oh yeah, the toy sales weren't that good, so we have to cancel it. That's not, I don't believe that's true. They just canceled it because they ran into the problem. Kids are barely watching it. Like kids back in 2011 hadn't heard of Thundercats. Like only old school fans like us will know it, and we were the target demographic for it. But it was alienating to kids, so they had no choice but to cancel it. And the show itself was going on hiatus, just like Young Justice and Green Lantern at that point. So it gets canceled, and then you leave fans in the loop for 7 years, holding out hope that maybe, just like Young Justice, Thundercats can come back. But then yesterday, you shatter it completely with another reboot. And now, this reboot, what is it targeted to? Who is it targeted to? Is it targeted to... It is obviously going to be targeted for kids. Like, there's no lie about that. But how will kids be able to get into this? Even if you make them get into it, they're just going to grow up eventually and look back and just see, hey, we actually got a Thundercat show 7 years before this. So it's just made. It was just made because one, Warner Brothers wanted it to be made. The second thing, they're again, just like Teen Titans, just like Powerpuff Girls, just like Ben 10, they're taking something old and they're putting it on the small screen and the digital stream just so it can get attention.
I think the bottom line is that they caught lightning in the bottle with Teen Titans Go. And yes, I'll admit to that.
Yes.
And they're trying to do the same thing with other franchises to see if they can do the same exact thing. If we can get people to talk about Teen Titans Go, let's see if we can get more people to talk about this show that we're actually bringing back, you know? And I think that's where it goes down to, is that they know that what they are selling, that whether it's good or bad, people are still going to eat it up no matter what.
Exactly. Yes. Well, and this show, it's supposed, because once again, Victor pointed out he's a huge fan. But see, here's the thing. Once again, 8-Bit Misfit and I brought up, if you look at that interview, like you look back at it, how can you tell he's really a fan? Because for all we know, Warner Brothers told him to say these things. They put that merchandise there to fool you into believing he's a fan. And because this is not made by a fan. This is made by a scumbag studio who just wants attention, even if it means they have to go this far to get it.
But what is their gain from it? I mean, like, yes, they're getting the attention, but what are they trying to sell? Like, that's the thing when you were mentioning about cartoons back in the days, it was meant as an advertisement. It was meant to sell toys. And even when we get the toys, we still watch the TV shows because we want to see, are there going to be new characters? And if they're new characters, are there going to be toys of these characters? You know,
exactly.
And that's what made us as kids in the 80s and the 90s to keep watching these particular cartoons. You know, Thundercats was, of course, meant to sell toys, but then when we see a new character, our thoughts is, oh, are they going to be having a new toy of that one? You know what I mean? But with this one, it's like, you know, with the cartoons nowadays, it's not really selling. You know, there are sometimes they sell toys and stuff, but it's like that's not their goal anymore.
No, exactly. What they have to gain from this, I don't know, but but I'll tell you what they most likely want to gain, because Teen Titans Go is not going to be on forever. If this year is the final year of it, with the 5th season ending, and I don't know that to be true, and with its theatrical movie, then what they're looking for is Thundercats to carry on the legacy, and for it to
Are you sure you want to
be.
call it a legacy?
Yeah, I have no idea, but they're looking for Thundercats to be the next Teen Titans Go. That's what it's going to be. That's what it ultimately wants to be. It doesn't want to come back and give you a comedy side to Thundercats, even though it just told you it wants to, but it wants to be like Teen Titans Go, and it wants to pretty much be handed the torch down so it can continue and do the same thing. So it can get more seasons. It can get a theatrical movie. It can get become the new poster boy of Cartoon Network and constantly be shown on Cartoon Network schedule repeatedly for weeks. I think that's what they want it to be. And it's not even trying to hide it.
No, but I do have a big, huge fear about this, about Thundercats Roar being successful, which it possibly will be. My biggest fear is seeing that if they think that Teen Titans Go is successful, and this is why they did it for Thundercats Roar, I'm afraid they're going to go after another show and do the same exact thing.
Yes, which they very well could, because, I mean, because let's be honest, I mean, and it was easier for them to do this for Thundercats because, once again, like I said, 7 years ago, they had the 2011 show, and all they did was just get rid of that completely and just focus on a reboot in the same style as Teen Titans Go.
Right. I think also this, I'm thinking about this now, and maybe, just maybe, I don't know if Warner Brothers own Thundercats, the old cartoons of Thundercats.
I don't believe
but it's a possibility that they might re-release the DVDs, and people who loved it so much might go and buy it.
They could, yeah. That's something else they could smartly gain out of this, because if people like it, then they'll probably announce, hey, we're going to re-release the show on Blu-ray and DVD for you to get it.
Because I noticed when there are like new reboots or something, like for example, Cobra Kai, and right now I know people are going and looking for the Karate Kid shows. I mean, Karate Kid movies, excuse me, not the shows, the movies, just to watch it again, because Cobra Kai kind of brought back that feeling of, oh, I remember this. I want to go back and watch this. Or if a young audience says, like, there used to be this type of show back in the day, let me go check it out of curiosity. So I wouldn't be surprised if Warner Brothers do own Thundercats, that they might re-release the old show on DVD, and might even release 2011 on DVD.
Well, yeah, like yeah, exactly.
Blu-ray.
Yeah, exactly. No, but at the end of the day, like because I want to talk about because we haven't talked about the voice cast, but I will say this. Yeah, it's true. Nostalgia is the easiest thing to get money these days, like because we live in a day and age where your nostalgia is instantly profitable. It's not even an ifs, ands, or buts. There's
so much stuff in nostalgia that people will go crazy over it.
Exactly. Yes. And it's just the day and age we live in. Sometimes it can be good, sometimes it can be bad, and clearly Thundercats Roar is mostly the bad side. Now, talking of the voice cast, because this show has already gotten its voice cast down. I don't know most of the cast, so I'm not going to go over all of them, but one of the interesting ones is that, okay, the voice of Lino, because the original voice of Lino in the 80s show, it was Larry Kenney. In the 2011 show, it was Will Friedle. And now for a new generation, Max, I still can't pronounce his last name. I'm so terrible. But Max, the English dub voice of Saitama in One Punch Man, will be voicing Lino and Wile E. Kit for this new one.
Oh boy,
I know. Yeah, it is.
All I can say is I'm glad it's not the original voice actor.
Yes.
I mean, it was a treat to hear him return for 2011. being the voice of Lionel's father, but to have him come, here's the thing: I wouldn't be surprised if somehow, some way, he makes a cameo appearance or a guest appearance, because you know they're gonna be doing that.
Yes.
And it's for the adults who watch it with the kids.
Yes, exactly. And it will definitely, it's definitely going to get them something. But okay, so here's another thing. Like, I don't know the full voice cast, but all I gotta say is, like, okay, if the voice cast does decent, maybe they can make the comedy work, because if you're gonna deliver comedy, you need a good voice cast who can have good timing, and maybe the joke can be better delivered by their performance. But see, that's the thing. Like, with the new voice cast, I mean, I feel bad for them, because again, they have to. I mean, they have to work with Cartoon Network on this type of show when they can be working on other great things. But that's just it. I don't wish anything bad. I'm not saying the voice cast should be ashamed of themselves. They really shouldn't. It's just their job. They just want to do this because of nostalgia, or because, they just want the money. It doesn't really matter. You can't blame them for that.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly. But they have found a director. They have found a director for some of the episodes. The director's name is, let me see here, Jeremy Pogla. He is now the newest director on all of the episodes of Thundercats Roar. And it's funny. What's funny about this guy is that I looked at his tweet, because he was tweeting about the show. May show it here. And he said he doesn't care what anyone says. He's directing the episodes on this. And one fan actually commented on him and said, "You should be ashamed of yourself." And he responded by just posting some laugh emojis. So clearly he doesn't care. Like, none of the people working on this don't care whether you don't like it or not. It's just a sad fact. So if you're going to try and shame them and say they should be ashamed of themselves, they should quit their jobs, it's not going to work. It's not going to work, unfortunately. It is not going to work. But there is one or two things I want to talk about. Don't want to make this too long, but I will say this, because my friend Captain Avoid did a stream not too long ago, and he brought up a great point, a great quote that I'm going to use. Go check out his channel. I'll put it in the link below. He pretty much brought up a great point. For those of you saying your childhood is ruined, this is ruined your childhood, this and that, let's really be honest. The moment you turn 30, your childhood is profitable. It's up for grabs.
Yeah, that's true.
And that could not be more true. It couldn't. I mean, so if you people think this is going to kill your childhood, well, guess what? Your childhood was already up for grabs the minute you got old, like the rest of us. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say about that. I mean, yes, Thundercats has some parts of my childhood. I've been rewatching the episodes after this, and yeah, it's not perfect. Neither both shows are perfect, but at least they were something. At least they weren't this. I'll give them that.
Yes.
But now the last thing. What will our first impressions be when this show comes out? That's the main question, because when that first episode hits, it is definitely going to bring in some kind of ratings. I just don't know how many.
Was it? I bet your first impression is going to be the same when you watch Unikitty.
Well, see, Unikitty's gotten better as time goes on. I don't know, but
it has.
Yeah, it has. It's gotten a lot better. Okay, with Thundercats Roar, I'm optimistic about it. Because one, I'm not going to be like every other Thundercats fan and just pretty much kill this show and beat it until it's a dead horse, and then even after it's dead, still continue to beat it. I'm not. I'm willing to give something a chance, because, okay, I mean, people are jumping the gun way too early. Like, not all fans, but some of those fans who are saying this is going to suck, this is going to do this and that. Once again, that's just going off of the little sneak peeks we've gotten and what we've been told. But until the full thing comes out, then we're free to make our own judgment. But I'm optimistic. I can tell you that immediately I'm going to hate the animation. I still will hate the animation. It's going to take me time to get used to. If the show is not funny, if it can't be as funny as Teen Titans Go or any of the other shows they have, then that right there shows you that, okay, it is going to get its shine in its first season. It'll get renewed for a second season, but then it's going to start to die down. It's going to, its fate will be easy to predict, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. I'm going to actually be watching the first 3 episodes with my friend 8-Bit Misfit. I may do a live stream. We both may do a live stream. Hell, maybe we'll get everyone who's not looking forward to this show to come in with us. Like,
I'm out. I'm out.
Okay.
I mean, eventually, I'll say this. Eventually, I might be watching it because my son watches Cartoon Network. So I might end up watching it anyway.
Yes, exactly. You're not going to be able to escape it.
I tried escaping SpongeBob. I tried escaping so many other cartoons, but then when I had my son, I couldn't anymore. I
know, yeah. So first impressions will probably be, it's going to be mediocre at best. I think that's what it's really going to be. And but on the other hand, if the animation is terrible, but if the writing is good, because I'm not going to write it off just yet. If it is somehow good, it's entertaining, and it proves people wrong, then there you go. It's an instant win, but it will still have problems. So again, we don't know how it will turn out. We just have to wait and see until it comes out. But I can guarantee you this, no matter what you people do, no matter what you say, it's not going to get canceled. It's not going to lose traction, because the more you talk about it, the more you tweet about it, the more you prepare yourselves for it, you're immediately giving it. You're making it set to have a second season, because that's where people are going to flip out, is if the 2011 show didn't get a second season, but this show got a second season.
Very true.
Yeah. So, that's about it, guys. Like I said, this is very cut and dry. I mean, everyone's pretty much given their thoughts and opinions on this in the last 24 hours. It's understandable. I completely understand. If you're not looking forward to this show like Duo, fine. Okay, I can accept that. But if you do have some type of optimism like me, you're willing to give it a chance, then who knows? I don't know. But all I know is that, guys, whether you like it or not, it's going to be like Teen Titans Go, where this show, it's going to get endless amounts of attention, and it's just going to be a success, because this is the day and age we live in. Cartoon Network has a winning formula now, and obviously and obviously too, we're getting a lot of original shows from Cartoon Network, but we can't have something pull people in because it's nostalgia. So Thundercats is clearly to add to the balance. So
all I have to say is, for Cartoon Network, just for the love of God, I mean, you did this to Thundercats. Please don't do this to He-Man. Please. It's the last bit of childhood I have left that is not tarnished by your voodoo right now. Please don't touch it.
Yes.
Please. Unless you're going to continue the reboot of He-Man, which I didn't mind at all, please don't touch it.
Yeah, no. It is Cartoon Network, man. Unfortunately, they will do anything to get attention. It's just a sad fact. But yeah, guys, that was our thoughts. That was our thoughts on the new Thundercats show. If you enjoyed that, then please hit the like button. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. If you want to stay up to date with all of my videos and more, hit that little notification bell. And let's get a discussion going about this. Like, let's try and be civil here. Like, if you want to completely crap on this show, go right ahead. But let's be civil. If you don't like Thundercats at all, then okay, that's fine. My friend Captain Navoid, he said he hates Thundercats, so this isn't really going to do anything. But who knows? Also, to go check out Duo Dreamers channel. Yeah, just let us know, guys. Like, let us know, what do you think of this news? And we hope you enjoyed this, and we will see you guys soon, whenever the year comes when we have to talk about this show.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
and don't forget, we are going to be talking about Cartoon Network in the
yes.
next Nerd Bender podcast. So.
Yeah, that'll be next month, guys. Still haven't found a specific date, but yes, our next podcast will be on Cartoon Network, so look forward to that.
Yes.
So thank you guys so much. Until then, this is Rick signing off.
And this is Chris. I'm Duro. Always dream big.
Later, everybody.
Bye, guys.